everyone! Life can get a little crazy, so let's talk about it. If you're ready to dive deeper, talk about what really matters, and feel a little more empowered, then you're in the right place. I'm your host, Carley Doxtator. I'm a life coach, baker, dog mom of two, and you're always there for you gal pal. And I'm so excited to have you join me. So grab your fuzzy socks, put on your comfy pants, and let's have girls' night. Hi everyone! I am so excited that you tuned in to listen today. Welcome to the very first episode of Girls' Night with Carley Doxtator. I actually had a different episode planned for this very first episode. That one will still be coming on a future episode, but I decided that I really wanted this one to be really kind of a vulnerable episode where I was showing a lot of myself to really let you all in and give you a taste of who I am and what you can expect. But I thought that this was a really good go because it really means a lot to me, and it's something that I hold close to my heart, something that I've been working through. So the hope is that it will help all of you as well. So let's dive in. I chose the topic of walking away from someone you love, letting go of somebody that you love for this episode, because if you're in this situation, it can be the hardest thing that you've ever had to do. It literally wrecks you inside because on one hand, you love them so much, but on the other hand, it feels like it just is not working. So it's a really hard place to be in. And if you're there, just know you're not alone. You're not the only person that's been there. And yes, there are people and resources that you can turn to help support you. At the end of the day, walking away is your own decision, and it's something that you have to be happy with. But for me, that is exactly what it felt like. I loved him so much. But at the same time, I felt myself losing touch with who I was. I was feeling anxious all of the time, and I just couldn't do it anymore. Eventually, I just had this moment where I couldn't do it anymore. And it all came to a head during my Halloween party back in October. So really, in the grand scheme of things, it was not too long ago, and in all honesty, I am still working through some of these emotions. But there are two things that contributed to this moment. One, he was supposed to come to my party and he didn't. So that for me was pretty disappointing because I was really looking forward to him coming. And like my dad has told me in the past, he said, Carley, if he really likes you, the least he can do is come to your party. And two, just for a little bit of background on this one, my sister and his best friend / roommate dated for a long time, years ago. But in fact, this is actually how I met him, was through him being friends with my sister. And so my sister and him still have some of the same friends. And during my Halloween party, she was telling me how she was talking to one of his friends about me and about him. And his friend said, quote, "Oh yeah, you mean Carley and all of his other girls?" And I heard that and it just instantly broke my heart. And I actually still get emotional thinking about that moment because it really was just so heartbreaking for me. And he had already broken my heart before, really shattered it. And it had taken me a long time to heal from it that last time. And he had come back apologizing. He was showing up differently. And in this moment, I just felt like such a complete idiot. And to be fair, when he did come back, I don't think I had actually healed enough to really have him in my life again. Of course, hindsight is 2020, but I had really set myself up for failure with that one. But still, I felt so stupid for letting him into my heart again and for letting this happen to me again. And it hurts so badly to hear this from my sister because here's this guy that I care about so much. And I mean, we had been in each other's lives for like 6 years and seeing each other for 5 years. And it was just in an instant, I felt so unimportant and like I didn't matter to him at all. It really, really sucked. And I actually just want to take a moment right here to say it's really easy to put people into these categories based on a few of their actions, right? Which isn't fair, but it's what we tend to do. So when I say all of this, it sounds like he's a bad guy, which in all honesty, he is not. He's very caring, very kind, and he has such a beautiful soul. I mean, that's the reason that I loved him in the first place, right? And this is a point that I want to make because both can be true. Someone can be a good person and they can hurt you. It's not, oh, they hurt me, but they're such a good person, so I shouldn't be feeling this way. No, it's, yes, they're a good person, and you know what? They hurt me very badly. Do you see the difference between those two? So them being a good person does not negate the fact that they hurt you, and it does not negate what you are feeling. In a sense, at least for me in this moment, it almost made it more confusing because it felt like, well, what's so wrong with me then if they're able to show up for everybody else? And this is exactly why it's so important to, whatever your feelings are, you need to honor them because you are feeling them for a reason. So when I heard this during my Halloween party, I had been in this place where I just wanted to protect his heart. That's where I was coming from with everything that I was doing. And at this point, when I heard that from my sister, I also needed to protect mine. It's like your heart is this beautiful flower. Maybe when I say that, you see a cactus flower, or maybe you see like an aloe vera plant. I don't know. Whatever you see, whatever first pops into your head is perfect. Whenever I picture this, I see an iris lily looking flower. So you take your flower, you have your flower, you're holding it in your hands, and you reach out your hands to this other person and you're like, please take care of this. And they smash it. So you take it back, you bring it back to life, and then you reach your hands out again and you're like, please take care of this. And they smash it again. So you nurse it until it's a full flower again, fully in bloom, and you reach out your hands again and you're like, please take care of this. And they smash it again. Do you see what I'm saying here? You can't expect people to take care of things that they don't know how to take care of. And I'm actually going to take this image a little further, so picture this with me for a second. When we talk about walls versus boundaries, I see walls as being these iron walls all around your flower. You can't see inside and you can't find a door anywhere. Those babies are welded shut. So you have to fight and work and work and work to tear down these walls to even see what's on the inside of them. Boundaries, on the other hand, I see as these super strong, clear glass walls. You can see your amazing, beautiful flower inside of the glass, and it has a door. Anyone can try to smash the flower, but they can't smash it because it's protected by the box. And anyone who wants access to the flower needs your permission to open the door. In one scenario, people are totally lost and confused as to how to get inside and as to what's even on the inside that they're trying to get access to in the first place. The other scenario is someone who knows what's inside, they know that they want it, and they're willing to find their way to the door to get it. Once you let them into the door, they're going to need to learn, and you're going to need to teach them how to take care of your flower. And I'm going to use an aloe vera plant as an example. I don't know, maybe one of you has a heart like an aloe vera plant, but I'm going to roll with it because I actually have an aloe vera plant myself. And for some reason, I have the trickiest time taking care of this plant. I don't know what it is, but here we are. Did you know that aloe vera plants can get too much sun? I didn't. I never thought that they could, because in my mind, they're like a desert plant, but they can. And you can underwater them, you can overwater them, and they can also get too little sun. There's so many things that go into it. If you yourself don't know how to take care of your flower, if you yourself don't know how to take care of your heart, how is anybody else supposed to know how to take care of it? And this is where communication is so important. I would love it if my aloe vera plant would just tell me, hey, girlfriend, I need more water. Please give me some nutrients. But if you don't communicate your needs to your partner, it's literally like they are taking care of a houseplant. They're just guessing until they figure it out. Or maybe they never figure it out and you're just sitting over here like, I'm withering. This isn't working. How couldn't you know to water me? I don't know why I switched into a British accent for that, but I guess I've been watching too much Bridgerton or too much Downton Abbey, whatever. I'm channeling my inner British drama. But anyways, you can either sit there being miserable because they aren't giving you what you need, or you can just tell them so that they know exactly what you need with much less heartache and much less headache. And for me and this guy, I think this is something that we both needed to work on. Walking away from him was the hardest thing I ever did, but it was something I feel like I had to do. Because at the end of the day, he just wasn't choosing me in the same way that I was choosing him. And when I did do this, he was going through a hard period in his life. He was really going through a lot, and I knew that. So I felt a tremendous amount of guilt afterwards because of it. But at the time, I did not have the capacity to show up for him in the way that he deserved. And I don't think he had the capacity to show up for me in the way that I deserved either. Clearly not, because if we were able to, I wouldn't be recording this podcast episode right now. But what's worse is that I wasn't showing up for myself anymore either. So me walking away was me finally showing up for myself. And it's actually really fucking heartbreaking because there's so much love between us, and I will always love him. But that's also okay, because that's how we grow and that's how we learn. So I want to talk about some of the things that I have been doing to help me get through it, help me work through my emotions, and to help me move forward. Actually, first of all, one thing that I would avoid doing if this is where you're at, whether you're the one that walked away, whether you're the one that got walked away from, I would avoid turning to drugs, alcohol, or sex to get you through. Yes, these things help you feel better in the moment, but they are detrimental to your healing in the long run, because those things are not going to help you if you're just using them to cover up or numb out how you're feeling. The longer that you avoid your feelings, the stronger they get. So in order to truly heal, you have to turn around and face what you are feeling head on. So to help me do this, 1, I really let myself feel my emotions to their full extent. An example of this, there was one day that it was pretty quickly after it happened, and I felt so angry. I literally felt like I was going to explode. I was so angry. And looking back at it now, it's like a little funny because I was just sitting in my office chair, like vibrating with anger. It honestly got to a point where in my head, I was like, okay, I need to dial this back right now and come back to it later. But still, letting myself get to that point helped me get to a place where I was able to explore that emotion more. So how do I do this? Whenever I am feeling off, whenever I'm feeling angry or sad or whatever emotion, first of all, state out loud or in your head what you are feeling. And then ask yourself where in your body you feel it. And then ask yourself why. So for example, I am feeling irritated. I feel it in my chest directly behind my sternum. It feels really tight. Why do I feel irritated? Because I feel like I have so much to do and I just wish someone was here to help me. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Whatever answers pop up for you are the right answers, so go with it. Lots of times, one emotion that we're feeling is actually related to another deeper emotion. So explore, explore, explore. Explore as much as you can. And anger itself is actually considered a cover emotion or a secondary emotion. So essentially what that means is that we're feeling a different emotion first and then we're feeling the anger. So when you're able to dig down to that first primary emotion that you're feeling, that's when the true healing will really start to occur. Number 2, something that has helped me is to look at things that we both did wrong and to look at things that we both did right. So it's really easy to put the blame on the other person. He did this to me, she did that to me, I can't believe he did this. But taking responsibility for the things that you're experiencing is so empowering because at the end of the day, it takes 2 people to perpetuate a cycle, and there's 2 people in the relationship. Even if that's just simply you sticking around and letting it happen, or if it's just you not sticking to your boundaries like you should have. So for example, with me and this guy, he took me for granted. And I could have communicated my emotions, what I was feeling more clearly, and stuck to those boundaries of what my needs were. And you're not doing this to shame yourself, but rather to learn and improve and be more aware for the next time. And same goes for the good. You loved them for a reason. And I find it much easier to forgive when I'm able to see the good parts of them too. We don't want to hold on to the hate. We want to hold on to the love and hold on to the lessons. When we're able to see the good things that they did, the ways they really showed up for us, then we're able to lean more into the love that we have for them. And seeing the good that you yourself did helps to not put them on a pedestal because you did amazing things along the way too. So being able to see both equal parts, both the good, both the bad, both of yourself and of them, makes you both equals and gives you a more balanced view of the situation. 3, stop putting timelines on your healing. Please stop doing this, please. It is only making the healing go slower. You are allowed to be sad whenever you feel sad, and you don't need to explain that to anybody. The key, though, is to not wallow in it and let it take over your whole life. So please, let yourself heal at your own pace. It does not matter what anybody else is doing besides yourself. 4, do all of the things that you used to really enjoy. When we get into a relationship or when we're seeing somebody, it's kind of a natural thing to start spending a lot of time with them, right? And we kind of let some of those old hobbies, those old things that we really enjoy and really make us feel our best, they kind of start to fall to the wayside sometimes, especially in these relationships where we feel like we lost ourselves. So if you're feeling that way, please go back and start doing those things again. Maybe you'll discover that you actually don't like it so much anymore, or maybe you'll find that joy in it again. For me, an example is dancing. I love dancing. I take classes at a dance studio, and for some reason, this is always something that kind of falls off when I start seeing somebody. That's a pattern I've noticed, so that's something I'm more aware of for the next time. But that's something I really enjoy and helps to ground me. So that is something that I have been doing ever since, and it's helped a lot. Dance specifically is a really good form of expression as well, so it's kind of a 2-hitter with that one. But whatever yours is, please go start doing it again. And kind of on the same note, number 5, try new things and really push yourself. This helps to rebuild your confidence in yourself and in what you're capable of achieving outside of a relationship. An example for me, afterwards I started cycling doing cycle classes, and I also started doing hot yoga, which both are things that I never thought that I would do ever. I did one cycle class with my old roommate, and it was one of the more embarrassing moments of my life when I did it. So I've been kind of mortified to ever go back. But I went back and I've actually found both of them to be very enjoyable, and both are things that I do on a weekly basis now. And if you've ever done a cycling class, you know how hard that shit is. It's hard. You're leaving there drenched in sweat, but you also feel so accomplished at the end. 6, ask your inner child what they want to do. And this is something that I've recently started. If you're not really into the inner child work, which I do find that it's very helpful to do that, but if you're not into it, then ask just yourself what you would like to do in this moment, not based on what anybody else would do. When I ask this, a bunch of random answers always come up. One night, I literally turned on SpongeBob and watched SpongeBob episodes on Netflix for like a couple hours. And it was actually like kind of nice because I just sat there relaxing and laughing and just like being a kid. But it really helps you to, I think, just be playful and find that joy again when you're going through an icky time. And nobody has to know if you're embarrassed by it. Nobody has to know. Nobody has to know that you were that you were finger painting, or that you were playing with your little dino nuggets or whatever. I mean, that's honestly really charming when you find someone that can just be completely fully themselves without being embarrassed. But nobody has to know. It's just you by yourself, and who cares? Number 7, lean into your self-care. And I know that this is something that people say all the time, but it is so true. When you just broke up with someone, or if you just were broken up with, then you're in a really vulnerable state and you're feeling really soft and squishy, right? And this is where the self-care comes in. So whatever makes you feel your best, do it. If you're having an icky day and you love it when you get dressed up, then get dressed up. You don't need an excuse to get dressed up. You can just be dressed up around your house. I really like taking bubble baths. I find it really relaxing. So I'll do that when I'm having a bad day. I'll pause, I'll take a bubble bath, I'll read, and it's just nice. On the same note, take care of your body, take care of your health, be eating foods that are good for you so that you're feeling energized, your body feels energized instead of feeling icky, lethargic, and weighed down. Number 8, lean on your friends. So I personally like to process things myself and then go to my friends afterwards, but it's the fact and the act of letting them in that is crucial, because it helps to build that trust again. When you've had wounds happen in a relationship setting, they're going to be healed through other relationships. So leaning on your friends to help you build that momentum is paramount to your healing and paramount to moving forward. And remember, you are not a burden to your friends. Your friends want to help you and want to be there for you, but it's on you to let them in. Number 9, acknowledge your loneliness. I feel like there is almost a toxic positivity around be happy on your own, rely on yourself for validation, you're better off without him, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. And maybe all of that is true. Being happy on your own, relying on yourself for validation, all this is true. You do need to feel good on your own. But it is also okay to feel lonely sometimes, especially after you're so used to spending so much time with someone else. You don't have to be happy all the time, and you don't have to be good all the time. I feel like Instagram and social media makes it seem like you have to be that way all the time, but those are just snapshots of somebody's life. You never get the whole picture, and everybody has more emotions than just happy. And use the loneliness to really explore yourself and get to know yourself better. I mean, when you're feeling lonely, you fill up that time with things that you really love to do and things that make you feel good. And that said, number 10, it is also okay to be happy without them. I felt this guilt about being happy without him. It almost felt like, well, if I'm not sad, if I don't feel bad or feel guilty, then that means I never loved him, which is absolutely not true. I loved him. I still love him. And I find that to be a really beautiful thing. So lean into the joy of every moment, because we were not meant to live our lives being sad. Go enjoy yourself. It is okay to feel happy and to have fun. And number 11, which I actually kind of debated whether I should put this in here or not, because I know it can be misconstrued, but I think it's important. So I decided to go ahead and put it in. I keep reminding myself that if walking away is what is best for you, then walking away is what is best for them too. And this is different than saying that you know what is best for them, because you don't. You do not know what is best for them. You can only go off of what is best for yourself. So when I say this, this is what I mean. In the end, if it's best for you and if it's what you truly want, or if you two just want different things, it will end up being what's best for them too, and vice versa. If they don't want to be with you, then them walking away from you is what is best for you too, because nobody wants to be with someone that doesn't actually love them. I mean, think about it. Do you really want to be with someone who is just with you out of pity? No, you don't. Just saying it makes me feel icky and like gross and tight inside. We want to be with people who fucking love us, who love everything about us, every belly roll, every snorty laugh, and every last drip of our drool on their shoulder. Now, we don't want to hurt the people that we love and that we care about, but if the only reason you stay with someone is because you don't want to hurt them by leaving, then you are preventing them from finding this type of love. And this is the type of love that you both deserve to have. And at the end of the day, I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. And if you're meant to be with somebody, you will end up with them, even if that's not right now or not in the way that you expect. Maybe you were meant to grow apart from each other just to come back so you can grow together. You don't know how it's all going to turn out. Nobody does. And I think that's really kind of beautiful, right? The mystery of it all, and to know that everything is working in your favor. And I actually think I am going to end the episode there. And you know what? I'm going to leave a link for how to take care of an aloe vera plant in the show notes, just because I feel like it. Yeah. Anyways, that's it. Love you guys. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you liked what you heard, then go ahead and subscribe so you get updates with us every week. You can also follow us on Instagram at KRC Coaching. If you're interested in working one-on-one, then go ahead and visit our website, krccoaching.com, to book your first 30-minute session for free. All right, thanks so much, you guys. Love you. Bye.